Okay, hey everyone, and welcome back to another Saturday morning vibe check. These are super quick readings, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Starting with your tarot, we have the Fool, the King of Swords, and the Queen of Swords. Okay, so sorry about the shadow here. Really, what I'm getting is this sort of, again, it's sort of like almost like a push-pull dynamic, right? Like where there's this like really fresh new start, but also sort of like a need for boundaries and sort of like thinking through all possible scenarios and thinking really logically about the new start. So it's like even like the artwork on the cards is like this like fresh, free, new energy, like yay, like almost like this childlike wonder, but then also a very like clear understanding of like what your boundaries are stepping into this new cycle. So like I don't know why this came to my mind, but like imagine like moving abroad or getting the opportunity to move abroad, and you're so excited about this like next chapter, but then this sort of like more practical like responsibilities come into play, or you need to start outweighing them. So you start to think about like, okay, like finances, like how am I going to afford this? Is the salary that the job that I'm getting that's going to move me there like enough to pay taxes and expat moving and expenses and all these things? That's only one example, and maybe that resonates and whatever, that's great. But it's almost like that, right? So it's like this like childlike excitement being almost like tempered by real world um, boundaries, if that makes sense. So I think it's kind of like the message here is like just be really clear about what those boundaries are when this new cycle comes into your life. And I do think that there's going to be almost like this sort of like, almost like crystal clear sort of like vision that you have when it comes to like what this is going to look like. So let's take a look at your oracle cards and see what they have to say. So it's time to release negative energy. I love that message just all around. Full moon in Scorpio, so that might be relevant. We have new moon in Pisces, meditate and contemplate. And then communication is key, new moon in Gemini. And I think that really comes into play, especially with the swords cards that we have, all about communication. Maybe it's communicating your boundaries. Maybe it's just communicating to yourself your boundaries. There's a lot of good stuff here. So I think the energy is looking really good. I think that this new chapter in your life is going to be really, really great as long as you can communicate your boundaries. So anyway, those are all the messages. I hope this resonated, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.